Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one woman is dead and police are searching for a suspect following a shooting in Whitley County. And the man responsible for a Leslie County shooting last weekend is still on the run. Plus, a man is dead in Leslie County after he was found in the creek next to his home on Wednesday.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:01 on Thursday, May the 23rd. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. It's Friday Eve and we're getting to the weekend, but you might want to hold your breath because Saturday is looking to be a scorcher. But first, let's focus on this Thursday. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, and things are fairly quiet for now, William, and we're going to continue to see that trend for much of the day. We could see a few scattered showers and storms later. Let's take a look at the camera network first this morning. Then we'll get to live pinpoint Doppler radar, and you can see Stonecrest over in Floyd County. Pretty quiet still this morning. Not a whole lot of issues now. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. Some rain off to our north and west back toward Indiana, but here at home, still dry as a bone as we head out the door this morning. 70 Pikeville, 62 Hazard, 59 in Williamsburg. Everybody else kind of right there in between. 16 degrees warmer in Moorhead this morning, but 8 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday in Monticello. Appcast today, download that for free in all the app stores. Mostly sunny for much of the day, and some chances for scattered showers and storms around later this afternoon as we get up to right around 88 for a daytime high. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Now, we also have an update to a story that we first told you about last night at 11. Dispatchers tell us one woman is dead and police are searching for a suspect following a shooting in Whitley County. It happened last night at a home on Highway 1064 in the Woodbine community. Right now, we are told the woman's body has been sent to Frankfort for an autopsy and that the situation is being considered a death investigation. We hope to have more on this story later today on WYMT and WYMT.com. A Leslie County woman is recovering from a gunshot wound, and police say the man responsible is still on the run. Sunday morning around 3, officials say a man and woman woke up to a man standing in their bedroom. The intruder then shot the woman with what police believe may have been a shotgun. WYMT's Justin Case talked with troopers and people living in the community.
Troopers say the shooting happened early Sunday morning at a home off of Mosley Bend Road in the Confluence community.
He fired shots at them. A female there in the residence was struck, was pretty seriously injured.
Police have not been given a description of the man. The victims only saw that it was a man and that he drove away on an ATV.
Initially, you have a felony burglary offense, and then you have either assault first or possibly attempted murder.
With not much to go on and a suspect that should be considered dangerous, police are urging people to pay attention when things seem out of place.
A lot of times we hear noises, dogs barking, we just blow it off. But you never know when it could be someone, around.
And talking with the former sheriff who also lives in this community, he says drugs are behind most of the crimes they see around here. Otherwise, Confluence is a peaceful community.
People, they just don't care no more. Once they get on that meth, they don't care about anything.
Although he is now retired, his decades of service render this piece of advice.
I just keep all your stuff locked up and make sure you lock your doors overnight. And don't let nobody in that you don't know.
Police ask that you call them immediately if you have any information about the suspect or where he might be.
Again, that was Justin Case reporting. Now, we also talked with the current Leslie County Sheriff. He says his deputies are increasing their patrols of the Confluence area and surrounding communities while the suspect is still on the run. Meanwhile, authorities in Laurel County are trying to figure out what led up to the accidental shooting of a 14-year-old boy. We are told another teen accidentally shot the boy in the stomach and chest with a shotgun. The teenage victim was airlifted to UK Hospital in Lexington in critical condition. We will update the story as we learn more on WYMT.com. Well, Kentucky State Police continue to investigate a deadly officer-involved shooting Tuesday night here in Perry County. Troopers tried to pull over a suspected car thief when he took off. The chase ended with shots fired and a trooper going to the hospital. As eyes were on Kentucky's primary elections, Kentucky State Troopers in Hazard were busy working to find a car thief.
Troopers advised that Mr. Brown immediately fled from the parking lot.
Christopher Brown was spotted in this parking lot, wanted on a number of warrants and suspected of being in possession of a stolen car.
The pursuit went on to Kentucky Highway 15 south toward the Vico community.
This is the dirt road that the chase ended on, but not before Brown and police went blasting through neighborhoods on their way to this gravel road.
It was just a zoom, zoom. So, I mean, it's like, oh my God, what's going on?
People who live in the community didn't mind talking with us, but did not want to be identified. They say Tuesday was an interesting day.
Well, we seen about 20 police cars pass the house, and we didn't know what was going on.
This yellow crime scene tape marks where Brown turned off on a dusty gravel road that leads to nowhere, and the spot where he tried to take a trooper's life.
At that time, just due to the fact that there was a perceived intentional intent to harm the trooper, troopers fired on Mr. Brown.
A move that left police with no option. Now, the 4 officers involved in the shooting have been placed on the standard 2-week administrative leave. Well, a man is dead in Leslie County after he was found in the creek next to his home on Wednesday. We are told by his friends that he was an older man who would go out and feed his animals every morning. We learned the name from his friends, but we are waiting to release it until we know that family has been notified. Those who were close to him say he was one of the kindest men you will ever know.
He was funny. He would laugh and just a good-hearted guy. I mean, you know, just a really good-hearted guy.
He had good nature, you know.
Details are still limited at this time about how exactly he drowned. Once we learn more, we will update that on our website at WYMT.com. Well, a daycare co-founder in Florida is under arrest after an infant child died in the facility's van. Police say the little girl was still strapped in a child safety seat when she was discovered Wednesday afternoon, roughly 5 hours after the van picked up the children. Investigators later tweeted that Daryl Ewing, a co-owner of Ewing's Love and Hope Preschool and Academy, was taken into custody on suspicion of child neglect. No other children were injured. Whoa, be careful over there, Brandon. Well, a murder trial in Whitley County is delayed. The trial against Jeremy Hatfield was expected to begin yesterday. However, it was continued because investigators are waiting for lab results to return in the case. Hatfield and 2 others are accused of killing a family of 3 back in 2017. The family was found dead at a home on Deep Branch Road. Police say the suspects knew the victims. 2 women have been charged after a drug investigation in Laurel County. Laurel County Sheriff's Office says they received a complaint of possible drug activity in the area of Lily Road on Tuesday afternoon. Investigators found Miranda Baker at the home. Police say she admitted to having sold meth prior to deputies arriving. They say 2 male juveniles were living in the home while drug transactions were taking place. Melissa Cox, the grandmother of the 2 juveniles, said she knew about the trafficking taking place in the home. Both women are now facing charges. Well, 2 U.S. lawmakers, including Congressman Hal Rogers, want the World Health Organization to withdraw pain care guidelines that include what they say are false claims about the safety of prescription opioids. They say the United Nations Health Agency's guidance was influenced by people with financial connections to the international sister company of Purdue Pharma, the company that makes the powerful painkiller OxyContin. Officials with the WHO say they are reviewing the report. In other news this morning, the state of the Southeastern Kentucky Medical Center was discussed in bankruptcy court at the United States Courthouse in London Wednesday morning. In the meeting, both parties discussed the terms on an asset transfer. Mayor Scott Maiden says while it was a positive first step, there are still a lot of things that need to happen.
I think a lot of things were discussed today, and I think that it's something that we can move forward with.
It's been quite a busy and hectic day, but I can tell you that we are feeling more positive this afternoon than we have been in a few days here.
Maiden says the judge gave both parties 24 hours to pick administrators, which they would then discuss and try to agree upon.
Quiet forecast here at home this morning, not so much off to our west for our neighbors out in the plains. We go to UVA Wise first this morning, and again, our furthest east camera, and not too much going on there. Temperatures in Wise right there at 64, 68 in Logan now, down from 70 in Pikeville, 71 in Prestonsburg, up to 73 in Moorhead, and you can see where that warm front is still draped this morning. 12-hour planner, you're going to see temperatures climb into the upper 80s today. Scattered chances for showers and storms that will pick up along that front. Shouldn't be anything too bad, but we'll keep a close eye on those for you coming up in the next few hours. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. A recovering drug addict is doing her part to help others. We will tell you how edible cookie dough plays a role in the healing process.
It's not your typical after-school program. I'm Nicole Killian in Baltimore, where these kids are already in medical school.